It's that time of year to celebrate the best releases across the metal spectrum. Today, we look at the top 7 black metal albums of 2023. Black metal is the most insular of the metal genres, yet it can also be one of the most extroverted. The dramatic tempos and ghoulish aesthetics continue to attract millions of new listeners to its creed each year. One area where the genre excels is in experimentation. Those days when Euronymous of Mayhem defined the rules for the genre no longer apply. If anything, the elitism associated with black metal has all but disappeared. The movement's spiritual home of Norway produced 3 notable albums this year from Immortal, Dødheimsgard and Mork. All have enough quality to merit praise. This year also saw the return of Marduk with their first album in 5 years, but 2023 might be remembered for black metal's avant-garde awakening. Scream Blast Repeat will look towards the experimental edge of black metal in 2024 to retain our interest in what is now one of the steadiest genres in heavy music. There's an oversupply of black metal bands in the underground. Many of them are atavistic and uninspiring, and it's impossible to keep up with them all. Nevertheless, these are the Scream Blast Repeat top 7 black metal albums of 2023. At number 7, we have Memento Mori by Swedish legends Marduk. They released it on the 1st of September via Century Media. How much of Memento Mori dwells at the verge of the speed of sound, and how much of it looks towards experimentation, is the ratio you need to consider when sitting through this album. Track 4, Shovel Beat Scepter, pulls you away from the meat grinder and into a mid-tempo malevolence built from the foundations of tolling bells and an ominous one-note synth loop. The vocals throb in a grotesque fantasy of human flesh development. Modern black metal would be much more enjoyable if it sounded like this. Verdict? 7 out of 10. At number 6, we stay in Sweden for the self-titled LP from Shining. They released it on the 15th of September via Napalm Records. As a scourge of metal elitists and a critic of the childish elements of black metal, Nicholas Kvarforth sure wants his art to be taken seriously. Striking a balance between the red fury and the pristine white solitude, without finding a middle ground between the two, is one of the most notable aspects of the song arrangements. Fidelis ad mortem makes you want to experience the solemn force of a clear moon underneath the shrubbery as you fantasize about what you'd like to do in your darkest of nocturnal contemplations with a knife in your pocket. Verdict? 7 out of 10. At number 5, we have English trio Dawn Raid with To Know the Light. They split up this year in September after releasing this record on the 24th of March via Prosthetic Records. Dawn Raid are an unusual force in black metal with their sorrowful violins and anarchist outlook clashing with the dynamics of blast beats and cruel guitar tones. Perhaps the biggest risk on this album is the trio's daring experimentation. Listen how they furnish you with a cappella voice arrangements on Requital and serenade you with sorrowful violins and acoustic guitar pickings on Cruel Optimisms. The latter throbs under the pathos of an Osterman's incendiary soliloquy and ends with a spectacular 5-second blast of napalm death fury. Verdict? 7 out of 10. At number 4, we have Finnish debutant Hang It with Beyond North Star. They released it on the 19th of May via Season of Mist. Beyond North Star is a cornucopia of different musical influences, yet it never sounds disjointed. That's because the core of the music takes its cue from blackened death metal like a Danse Macabre version of Akakoki. Every tiptoeing waltz finds a countermeasure in the baseball bat swings of a violent protagonist. Great music can make you shiver and can test your threshold for fear. Hang It play with their listeners like flies to wanton boys. They're killers for their sport. Verdict? 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 3 is 93696 by New York black metalers Liturgy. They released it on the 24th of March via Thrill Jockey Records. Liturgy have always been transfixed by the idea of creating transcendental black metal through the incorporation of other genres, most notably progressive rock and electronica. On 93696, they make their most daring attempt to reach this objective via the power of angelic soprano harmonies and chaotic guitar melodies. The days when people dismiss Liturgy as trendy imposters will make no sense once you absorb 93696 and grow to understand its spectacular emotional pull. Verdict? 8 out of 10. Number 2 takes us to Norway for Dødheimsgard and their album Black Medium Current. They released it on the 14th of April via Peaceful Records. 1 hour and 9 minutes of genre-bending metal ought to challenge you. It might even exhaust you, but Dødheimsgard pull off the impossible and create an immersive experience for you to absorb as you would a panacea for a hangover. The vicious moments are as heavy as Emperor and as technical as Ne Obliviscaris. Those waiting for a Vedwenzende follow-up to their legendary 1995 debut can satisfy their cravings with Black Medium Current. Dødheimsgard show once again that avant-garde black metal is nothing without their input. Verdict? 8 out of 10. Which brings us to number 1. Drum roll please. At number 1, we have Omega Infinity with the Anti-Current. They released it on the 24th of February via Season of Mist. People call Omega Infinity's art void metal, and that might be the most accurate term to describe the destructive power of their music. You'll hear the incorporeal death metal of Portal in this music. Australian industrialists The Amenta are another group that operates in a similar paradigm. Maybe Nathrak as well. It seems trivial to reduce this unfolding audio apocalypse to comparative artists when the experience is so overwhelming. But the cerebral mind takes comfort in imposing order on chaos. Verdict? 8 out of 10. Congratulations to Omega Infinity for landing the number 1 spot. Let's also recognise the 5 honourable mentions that nearly made this list. Gentapte Kriegen by Bizarre Cult, Irreversible by Deitas, War Against All by Immortal, Diepert by Mork, and From the Wound Spilled Forth Fire by Nixo. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and more importantly, please visit our website at www.screamblastrepeat.com for the latest album and EP reviews from established, up-and-coming, and unsigned artists in the worlds of extreme metal, prog, and dark alternative.